Wetenskapmannetjies. Lucky that wasn't Wetenskapmannetjies. Then we're kicking little science men. Sorry, that was a terrible joke. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's begin. So, in Wetenskapmannetjies, the speaker has a very negative attitude toward scientists. Okay, maybe he failed physics and chem because he had a bad teacher and he didn't like school. And academics are not as important as nature. So nature is more important than academics. And the speaker is a child of nature and appreciates it without declaring anything, the way scientists would. Emotions, like pain and happiness, are more important than mathematics and physics, chemistry. According to the speaker, scientists focus on numbers, and this causes loneliness, while happiness and sadness are more important than being an excellent academic. So basically, our speaker Antjie Krog, she probably didn't have brown parents. Hey, because let me tell you, in my house, your academics sometimes were the be-all and end-all of your existence, my friend. Nah, but I'm joking. Mom, Dad, if you're watching this, you raised me pretty well. Academics are important, but look, they're not everything. Your matric does not define you. Yeah, maybe it defines your short-term future, but not you or who you are. Okay, I just want to say that quickly. I just wanted to have a quick rant to you guys about my life. So, the structure of Wetenskapmannetjies. Okay, let me erase that so I don't confuse anyone. Okay, the structure. It's free verse. We're free to simply be here. And this can be likened to our emotions and feelings that are far more important than calculus. And die strofes en versreel is nie ewe lank nie. So there's no specific length of anything. And daar's geen vaste rympatroon. There's no fixed rhyme pattern. We've got 20 versreels and 4 stanzas. 4 strofes. Rhyme scheme again, it's free verse. We have a paar rhyme in 3 and 4. Jammer, 4 and 5. Ligjare en ware. Let me just change that. So 4 and 5, we have a paar rhyme. And hartseer en keer, we've got a bit of a kruisrym. So 3 and 4, paar rhyme. Seer en kier, kruisrym. So our major themes, it portrays the negativity towards scientists. And people shouldn't always look at the sun, the moon, the stars, and nature the way a scientist would, but instead of how human beings are supposed to experience something rather than analyzing it. Okay, that's a greater than sign. Our tone, once more, it's just negativity, so negative toward scientists, and there's appreciation toward nature. The title, in die titel, het ons 'n verkleining, so that TJIES, it's in diminutive form, and it has a negative connotation here. And it shows the speaker's contempt for scientists. She doesn't think much of them. Line 1, julle. Dis 'n persoonlike naamwoord. It's a personal pronoun. And the speaker addresses the scientist directly. Onder, this emphasizes the negativity portrayed by the title. Swart. So there are 2 meanings here, literal and figurative. Literal is denotative, figurative is connotative. So, literally, we have to sit under these telescopes to look at the sun because we can't look at it directly. Figuratively, this continues that negative feeling towards scientists. So we literally have to sit underneath it, and it continues the negative feeling toward scientists, to summarize everything. And we have an alliteration here with sit and swart, and this emphasizes the tension and silence that the scientists are experiencing while looking at the sun. Line 2, they're simply studying the sun to see changes. They don't really appreciate it, and it's their job to look at it, so they're not looking at it for the love of it. Line 3, so literally in line 3, they will never reach the sun, no matter how much they're studying it, and it's all quite pointless. In line 4, we have patheties. This means pathetic, just like me. #sad, #depresso. No, I'm just joking. So again, this has a negative feeling. We have a negative connotation, and this indicates that no one can determine the light years precisely. So essentially, it's a pathetic pursuit. It's like a useless endeavor. Ligjare, this is light years. It's more scientific jargon, and it's the distance that light travels in a year. And that estimate is 9.4 billion kilometers. You don't need to know that. I'm just dropping some science knowledge on y'all. On y'all. Y'all is like a Durban thing to say. Y'all is like, I don't know, American. Like, how y'all doing? And we have a bit of inversion here. So we're not starting with our subject Yilla. Instead, we're starting with Patietis. This is starting with a manner rather than a subject. And this is to emphasize the feelings toward these events. In line 5, there's a nice contraction there. It's almost archaic. And we don't really use words like this anymore. Modern Afrikaans would be swear to say. But this is asset vara. So essentially, there's doubt in their theory that the sun is going to disappear. And this relates to line 6. Verdwyn would be disappear. And the speaker is not certain if the sun will actually disappear. And we have a bit of rhythm here. When you say it, we have a bit of spring in our step. Line 6, so this is the theory that a supernova, that the sun is shrinking year by year and will eventually vanish. And there's some doubt portrayed from line 5. So line 5 to 6, they definitely work together. And in essence, the speaker is saying that this is inevitable. Or if this is the theory about the sun, why are you still studying it and causing fear and panic? Why not just appreciate it while it's still here? Line 7, ons, refers to the speaker and the friends. Hoog refers to how they are sitting high on the windmill. And this contrasts onder in line 1. Maar, in this context, it just means the same as just or merely. And there are two meanings here to line 7 that we need to focus on. So again, literal versus figurative. It's always this toss-up in poetry. What does it really mean versus, what does it mean, you know? So line 7, she is sitting with her friends high on the windmill, so looking down onto everything. So we're actually sitting on the windmill. And figurative, we're also looking down upon the scientists. Line 8, we have an alliteration. And this emphasizes that the speaker and her friends are seeing what they're seeing when they look at the sun. And there's also a bit of personification here. Let me explain. Die son se kopstamp. This is personification as it emphasizes how beautiful the sunset is and how much the speaker and friends are enjoying it. And this is just a small rant in line 9 about the horizon. Lines 10, 11, and 12, if we could look at this as a whole, these lines are describing the sunset. And our repetition of who, sound like an owl. This is anaphora, which is anafoor. Sorry, let me just change that to lines 10 and 11. It emphasizes the description of the setting sun and how important it is to the speaker, how NB it is, nota bene. Val lig gloei, it refers to how dull the blue sky is glowing because of the sun. It becomes orange. Bome tot silhouette verskroei. This refers to how the trees merely look like shadows as the sun is setting. They almost look scorched. And simply put, these lines, they show the progression of the sunset. And the lines get longer, indicating that the shadows are becoming longer as the sun is setting. And we have quite a bit of enjambment here. In this second stanza, there's a lot of enjambment. And this shows the progression of them watching how the sun is setting, the different colors in the sky. We've got a massive vending here, so there's a change. Whenever you see a conjunction, there's typically some kind of change. And daarom is a reason-giving conjunction or a voegwoord. The reason for the poem. So while the scientists are analyzing the sun, awaiting its dooms, the speaker and friends are appreciating it more than the maths behind it. Lieve, meneere, this is a sarcastic tone. Apostrophe, she is speaking directly to the scientists, and she doesn't like the scientists and shows contempt to the work that they do. Klavertjies are shamrocks, a 4-leaf clover, which is universally understood as a symbol of luck, good luck, the luck of the Irish. And tussen my huiswerk kry ek 26%, she gets 26%, she's failing. You're even below 30%, like below 30%. She's not going to get a matric. She should probably just stick to writing Afrikaans poems, in my humble opinion. And we've got a bit of irony here in line 13 and 14. Irony. She is drawing the shamrocks while she is doing homework, but still getting 26%. So much for the luck here. hey, that luck is not helping you, chief. Just study. So there's no luck for her. So lines 14 and 15 here, it indicates that she is listening to the lost Heathcock on the tennis court rather than her teacher. Verdwaalde Korhan. So as a whole, verdwaalde Korhan beteken that we should be in the field here, but lost on the tennis court. And Korhan in particular is a bird, that's a fool, which refers to nature. Is man-made, and thus the bird doesn't belong there. Now, line 16 to 19, as a whole, we've got an extended metaphor. And here the speaker uses the 26% knowledge that she has gained to explain to the scientists in their jargon what she does instead of sitting in a room, looking at the sun through a telescope, estimating the years until its doom, and not actually appreciating the beauty, the warmth, and the life that it gives presently. So, quadreer refers to her multiplying her joys. She finds the logarithm in line 18 of her hartseer. Vrede and hartseer, they contrast each other. They mean two completely different things. Line 19, want, it refers to the reason why she's failing, because she does not want to be lonely. She wants to be happy and free. She's satisfied with her 26%, even if that means she can appreciate nature. And it deserves to be appreciated because it's eventual doom, as per contemporary theory. There was a really nice poem in the previous set called 10 haikus vir die vrede voorkoepel. You can ask your teachers about it. It was really difficult to analyze. It was really heavy. There were these 10 haikus just stating about how, from dust to dust came man, and all of humanity was destroyed by meteors, ice ages, and things like that. So for every death, there must be a rebirth. So ultimately, it will all end, but it will be born again until the world reaches its eventual doom and life is no longer. So pretty deep. And in the final line, simply put, our speaker, Antjie Krog, she says, no one can stop the loneliness that being a scientist brings. So she's got a lot of beef with scientists throughout this poem.